Have you ever felt a sudden chill in an empty room or caught a fleeting shadow in the corner of your eye? We often think of ghost stories as tales from a distant, gaslit past. But the supernatural isn't confined to dusty old castles or Victorian manors. In fact, some of the most chilling and well-documented hauntings have happened in our modern world, sometimes in places you'd least expect. Today, we're dimming the lights and diving into the most famous modern ghost stories that will make you question what's really out there in the dark. These aren't just campfire tales. They're accounts filled with witness testimonies, strange phenomena, and mysteries that continue to puzzle us to this day. So get comfortable and let's begin. Our first story takes us to a place synonymous with unimaginable tragedy, Chernobyl. After the nuclear disaster in 1986, the city of Pripyat and its surroundings became an exclusion zone, a ghost town frozen in time. But is it only a ghost town in name? Many who have ventured into the zone, from scientists to urban explorers, have reported unsettling experiences. The most famous legend is that of the Black Bird of Chernobyl. In the days leading up to the disaster, several workers at the power plant reported seeing a massive black bird-like creature with glowing red eyes. Some even claimed it resembled a headless man with giant wings. After the explosion, sightings of this creature seemed to vanish. Was it a hallucination, a local legend, or an omen foretelling the catastrophic event? Beyond the Black Bird, visitors to the abandoned hospital in Pripyat have reported hearing the disembodied laughter of children and seeing ghostly figures of firefighters who were the first responders, forever patrolling the contaminated halls. These modern-day ghosts are not spirits from centuries past, but echoes of a recent, devastating event, their stories forever imprinted on the radioactive landscape. Next, we travel across the Atlantic to a seemingly ordinary suburban home in Enfield, London. The Enfield poltergeist case, which began in 1977, is one of the most thoroughly documented hauntings in history. It all started in the Hodgson family home. Single mother Peggy Hodgson and her 4 children began experiencing strange phenomena: furniture moving on its own, knocking sounds coming from within the walls, and toys being thrown across rooms. The activity seemed to center around 11-year-old Janet Hodgson. Over the next 18 months, the case was investigated by Maurice Grosse and Guy Lyon Playfair of the Society for Psychical Research. They witnessed levitations, objects flying through the air, and even recorded a deep, raspy voice speaking through Janet, claiming to be a man named Bill Wilkins, who had died in the house years earlier. The case attracted massive media attention, with skeptics claiming the children were faking it for attention. Yet many of the events were witnessed by police officers, journalists, and investigators who entered the house as skeptics and left convinced that something inexplicable was happening. To this day, the Enfield case remains a fierce debate. A terrifying poltergeist haunting or an elaborate, incredibly convincing hoax? Let's shift from a haunted house to a haunted object. An item so infamous it is kept in a locked glass case in the Warrens Occult Museum in Connecticut. I'm talking about Annabelle, the Raggedy Ann doll. In 1970, a nursing student named Donna was given the doll as a gift. Soon after, she and her roommate Angie noticed the doll would move on its own, changing positions and even rooms. They found little notes written on parchment paper with messages like, "Help us." Initially, a psychic medium told them the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins. Feeling sorry for the spirit, the nurses gave it permission to stay. But that's when things escalated. The activity became more malevolent, culminating in a physical attack on their friend, who was left with mysterious claw marks on his chest. Terrified, they contacted paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens came to a chilling conclusion. There was no little girl. Instead, a demonic entity had attached itself to the doll, manipulating the girls with a sad story to gain their permission to inhabit their lives, with the ultimate goal of possessing a human host. The Warrens performed an exorcism on the apartment and took the doll with them. Even on the drive home, the doll allegedly caused their car's brakes and power steering to fail. To this day, Annabelle is considered one of the most dangerous haunted objects in the world. A grim reminder that evil can come in the most innocent of packages. Our next stop is a place of immense beauty and profound sadness, Aokigahara Forest in Japan, also known as the Sea of Trees. Located at the base of Mount Fuji, this dense, sprawling forest has a dark reputation. For decades, it has been a location where many people have tragically chosen to end their lives. This history has led many to believe the forest is haunted by the restless spirits of those who died there. Known in Japanese folklore as eerie, visitors and forest workers have reported a host of paranormal experiences. Compasses and GPS devices mysteriously fail, leading people to become lost in the eerily quiet woods. Many have heard disembodied screams, seen spectral white figures flitting between the trees, and felt an overwhelming sense of being watched. There's a powerful feeling of sadness and despair that seems to permeate the very air. Some believe the spirits actively try to lure despondent visitors deeper into the forest, to join them in their eternal sorrow. It's a place where natural beauty collides with human tragedy, creating an atmosphere so heavy with paranormal energy that few can walk its paths without feeling its chilling influence. For anyone struggling, please know that help is available. Resources and support lines are listed in the description below. Your life is precious. From a haunted forest, we journey to one of America's most famous haunted hotels, the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. If this place sounds familiar, it should. It was a stay at the Stanley in 1974 that inspired Stephen King to write his horror masterpiece, The Shining. King and his wife were the only guests in the hotel as it was closing for the winter season. They stayed in room 217, where they experienced a series of unsettling events, including hearing phantom children running in the halls and having a terrifying nightmare that became the basis for his novel. But the hotel's paranormal history predates Stephen King. The original owners, Freeland and Flora Stanley, are said to still be gracious hosts in the afterlife. Flora can often be heard playing the piano in the concert hall, and F.O. Stanley is seen overseeing things in the lobby and billiard room. The fourth floor is particularly active, believed to be haunted by the spirits of children, whose laughter and footsteps echo in the hallways. Room 401 is said to be haunted by a man named Lord Dunraven who stands in the corner of the room. The Stanley Hotel fully embraces its haunted reputation, offering ghost tours to brave guests. It stands as a prime example of a modern location where the veil between our world and the spirit world seems exceptionally thin. Finally, we explore a phenomenon that brings the supernatural directly into our digital age: electronic voice phenomena, or EVP. This is the act of capturing spirit voices on electronic recording devices that weren't audible at the time of recording. While the concept has been around since the mid-20th century, modern technology, digital recorders, computers, and specialized apps has made ghost hunting more accessible than ever. Paranormal investigators across the globe use these tools in haunted locations, asking questions into the silence and then listening back to the recordings for what they hope are intelligent responses from the other side. Countless recordings exist online claiming to have captured these disembodied voices, from simple words like hello or get out to more complex, chilling sentences that seem to directly answer the investigators' questions. Skeptics argue that EVP is nothing more than audio pareidolia, our brains creating patterns from random noise, radio interference, or stray sounds. But for believers and many investigators who have captured a clear, direct voice in a controlled environment, it says proof that spirits can and do use our own technology to communicate with us from beyond the grave. It's a haunting thought that the ghosts of today might not be rattling chains but whispering through the static of our own devices. From the radioactive ruins of Chernobyl to the digital static of an EVP recording, these stories show us that ghosts are not just relics of the past. They are a part of our modern world, their legends evolving with our technology and their tales echoing through the corridors of our own time. Whether you're a staunch believer or a hardened skeptic, it's hard to deny the fascinating, and frankly, terrifying nature of these accounts. They challenge our understanding of life, death, and what might lie in the shadows just beyond our perception. What do you think? Have you ever had a modern paranormal experience? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the supernatural. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next exploration into the unknown. Stay curious and stay safe.